Guys, I'm super excited. As you can see, I'm standing here in front of or beside the 2021 Road Glide Special. So we've finally gotten the issue figured out that I talked about in a prior video about the front end getting some shake when I'm braking at highway speeds. They've gotten that figured out, I think. So today was the first day I actually was able to commute to the office with it, and unfortunately I got a warning light. Guys, my name is Rick and this is the HD Vibe channel, and in today's video we're going to talk about how you can figure out and diagnose what a warning light may be, how to get to those diagnostic codes, how to read those codes, and hopefully we can figure out what was going on with the Road Glide Special, and we'll get into all that right after this. That's right, guys, the Road Glide Special is back in the HD Vibe garage, and I was super excited to take it to work today, commute to the office. And as I was going down the road, probably 15-20 minutes into my commute, my security light went to solid red. So what I'm going to do is show you how to get your diagnostic codes, how to flip through those, how to decipher those, and then we're going to figure out if that code, if it actually did throw a code, is it actually signaling what was the problem? Okay, so to check the codes, it's really pretty simple. So to start off, you actually have to have obviously your key fob close by. And then what you're going to do is you're actually going to hold down your tripometer reset button. And while you're holding that down, that'll light up your odometer with your mileage. You turn the ignition to the run position. And then the bike will cycle through, and then right here it says DIAG. So at that point you know you're in diagnostic mode. So to go from there, you're going to hit your trip meter button again, and it'll scroll through. So the first one it goes to is ECM, and here we have an N at the end of that, which means there's no problem with the ECM. Now we go to BCM, and it actually has a Y in front of it. So Y means there's actually a code that has been thrown through the BCM. And that Y on the BCM, noting that there's an issue, is the reason why I was getting my red solid light on my security system when I was riding down the road on the way to work today. So to get to the actual code, you're going to hold down the trip meter button again, the trigger. And that will take you into showing you what the code is. The code is B2168H. And so these codes, having a B, that means it's a BCM code. And then having the H behind it means it's a historical code. So that means that the code has actually cleared itself up in the process. So when I left work, that light was no longer on, and I rode home, it never came on. But I think I know what the problem was, and we'll see if that is actually, that code designates what the problem is that I think we have on the bike. So I've jotted that down, and we'll be looking that up in just a minute here. So now let's go through the rest of the areas that you could have a code on. So we go to speedometers next. That has an N next to it. The next one is ABS. There's no issues with that. It has an N on the end of it. Radio also has an N. So we've gone through the entire menu of diagnostics that the bike can be run that you can check yourself. So we basically had one code. And since that's a historical code, I've jotted it down on a piece of paper, and I know what that is. I've actually taken a picture of it. So I'm going to go ahead and clear that. We're going to go back to BCM, and you get into that. So you go back to that code, and then what you do to clear it is you just, again, hold that toggle or that trigger for your tripometer, hold it down, and then that clears the code. And then you flip back through, and now we go back to, I'm going to flip through, so we're back to the main menu, diagnostic. ECM still says no. Now BCM says no, has an N after it. So I have now cleared the code. Before we go to the computer to actually check the code, you'll see on the back of the bike here, my low profile sequential bag lights on the right side of the bike is working just fine. And then we swing over here to the left side of the bike and it's off. So my suspicion is we have a wiring issue. Something going back to this light is not working and was causing a short, which is what caused that red security light to go solid while I was going down the road to work. So now I'm going to go ahead and Google that code and see if that is actually what the code is denoting. Okay, so again, I jotted that code down. That code was B, which denotes there's a problem with the BCM, 2168, and then H was on the end, which means it's historical. So, you know, a quick easy way is to actually just do a Google search and put in DTC code, which is what I'm going to do here. And then the code B2168. And you don't really need to put the H or the C on there. And what it pulls up, I'm just doing a quick search. I'm just going to go to the first one. It says there's a potential short in your wiring going to your turn signals. So, as I suspected, there's a problem with the wiring going to the turn signal. I don't know exactly what it is, but obviously I know my rear light on that left bag is not working. So let's check that out. So Fuel Moto also has a pretty detailed list of all these codes. And again, if it's a B code, it's a BCM. If it's an ECM, it'll be an E code. R would be a radio code. A, I think, would be an ABS code. But they're all listed. If you go to Fuel Moto's website, it's very helpful. They have all those codes. So now what I'm going to do is I want to take this bag off and we're going to actually see what is the issue going on here. And then after that, once I figure that out, we'll kind of wrap it up. Okay, we'll just pull this bag off. Pretty simple. Just loosen the two connecting points there. And I'm going to disconnect my lighting harness here and pull this bag off. Set it aside in a safe place. We got the bag off. I've disconnected the light and I've got the side cover off. And as I suspected, we've got a problem with this wire here. It's cut and these wires are touching here. They're frayed. And unfortunately, I think what happened after I looked at this and pulled the bag off is this was kind of hanging down close to where the belt was. And I think it may have just touched the belt as I was going down the road. And it actually split these wires, cut these wires, two of the four wires that go into this connector, which obviously control that sequential bag light on the left. So what I'm going to have to do is either get a new harness or try to splice this together so that I can salvage this. But I think I might be able to get a replacement from Custom Dynamics. So guys, that's it. That's how you get to the codes. As I suspected, I had a wiring issue. I figured that out, but the codes proved it out. So you've learned how to get to those diagnostic codes. You've learned how to look those up. Just jot them down. Again, if it has an H at the end, it's historical and it's not an issue anymore, and you can go ahead and clear that, but I would suggest jotting that down. If it has a C, it's a current code or problem with the bike. That's going to continue to recur even if you clear that code. So if you're going down the road, this is something good to know. If you have a warning light that pops up, either your check engine light, your solid red on your security system pops up while you're going down the road, or your ABS pops up and goes solid while you're going down the road, there's some issue. So you can pull over, check for those codes, get into the diagnostic mode, jot them down, and call your local Harley Davidson dealership and say, hey, this is what's going on with the bike. I'm getting this code. And they can tell you, if you don't have the ability to look it up while you're on the road, if you can continue riding, go ahead and clear it. Or if they say, hey, stop, pull the bike over, don't go any farther, get it towed into your nearest Harley Davidson dealership and get it looked at before you go any farther. So something good to know. And guys, if you found any value or you found some value in this, please give this a thumbs up. Also, consider sharing this with your friends. Someone else who might not know how to get to diagnostic codes that might be helped by this video, please go ahead and share it with them. Also, if you're not a subscriber, I'd appreciate it if you consider subscribing to the channel. And when you do subscribe, leave a comment down below saying I subscribe so I can personally reach out and thank you for supporting the channel. And when you do subscribe, check out the over 160 videos that I have on tips, tricks, rides, reviews, installs on my Harley Davidson touring motorcycles, which I currently feature a 2021 CVO Street Glide and a 2021 Road Glide Special, which we've been looking at today. I'm sure there's probably something else that you're going to find some value. This channel is all about helping you, the viewers, out, learning something, finding out, saving some money. That's why I do this. So guys, with that, I want to leave you with this. Life is short. Get out and ride the bike. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye now.